Yo, what's up? So as you can see, got myself a buzz. Yeah, today we're going to be talking about how not to care about the opinions of others. Have you ever, when you scrolling through a YouTube comment section and you come across a negative comment, have you ever felt that, like that negativity, even if it was directed to someone who, like the YouTuber, for example, you still feel like you're left worse off, like their negativity spread onto you? Well, the reason is because when you let the negativity of others infect you, that's when you lose your peace and your focus, and you start to concern yourself more with their opinions. So I'll make this a bit clearer, but essentially the problem that we have is when we give our energy to other people's opinions, that's when they have more effect on us, essentially. So the best way to stop caring about the opinions of others is to dedicate your time and your energy to other things. We all have something in our lives that we care about. But the problem is, if you aren't working towards something like your goals, your fitness, your relationships, your own mission as a man, then you're just going to be left having too much time and too much energy and focus on what other people say about you. And just like that YouTube comment, even if it's not even directed at you, you still giving that energy still infects you in a way where it feels like that is being impacted, like you're being impacted by that, as if it was you personally. So instead of focusing on what other people think about you, you need to focus on your mission, your own goals, your work, your relationships, as I said. Because when you do that, you won't have the time or energy to care about what other people think. Peace comes from when you're aligned with your purpose rather than the opinions of others. That's how you stop caring about what other people think. When your mind is so focused on a particular goal that you don't even have the time or energy to care about their opinions. So I'm not saying not to care completely, because as social beings, it's very unnatural advice and almost weird advice if I said, don't care about what other people think. What I'm talking about is not caring about the opinions of people who do not want the best for you. So it is normal and it's natural and it's good to care about the opinions of your friends, of your family, people who are close to you. It's normal to care about their opinions. It's a good thing. But we don't want to be caring about the opinions of other people who don't support us on our goals. And so you have to audit those type of people in your life and just know, hey, okay, are they contributing to my life? And if not, then I'm going to approach what they say with a level of wisdom and discernment, knowing that people's opinions of you are less subjective than what you think. A lot of times people's opinions, when they say stuff about you, it's a lot more influenced by their own emotions, their where they are in life, so their circumstances, their worldview, their insecurities. And so when you receive some criticism or something, just have this filter where you see what they're saying and pull out the objective feedback from it. And then you want to have the humility to filter that and be able to extract what they're saying. The reason why we care so much is because of our ego. Essentially, we think we are the most important part of other people's day. The reason why we care so much about what other people think is because we think that other people are thinking as much about us as we think about us. But in reality, they're thinking about themselves and how other people see them more than they see us. So it gives us this freedom to be able to live however we want, because we know that, hey, look, at the end of the day, they don't remember the cringy, awkward moment that happened 2 years ago that you still think about. They forget, they move on, because they're too focused worrying about their own insecurities and their own weaknesses. So embracing that truth and recognizing that the reason why you care so much about other people think is because you think that they care more about you than you do about you. And that's not the case. Another way to stop caring about what other people think is to have the humility. Having the humility to recognize that even if they do say something and it hurts, it's even a little bit truer than what we would have liked. When you can have that humility, you're able to say, well, because you're already aware of your own weaknesses, you can just shrug your shoulders and say, okay, well, let's just say, for example, they call you fat, right? And you're genuinely a bit chubby, you're not really happy with your physique. Instead of getting insecure and thinking, oh, damn, they call me fat, like, I feel terrible. If you have the humility to recognize, hey, look, I know I'm chubby, I know I'm fat, I know I need to lose weight, because you already know that is a weakness of yours, you can almost thank them for the reminder. Oh, thank you for helping me to focus on my goal. Oh, okay, I knew I needed to lose weight, so thank you for calling me fat. So now that I know that, now it's almost like a reminder and it's encouragement to lose that weight. And so I guess that leads me to my last point. So when you have the humility, you can grab the logical side of it, right? This is almost two ways, right? So the humility, you grab the logical side of the criticism and you apply it, not in this objective sense, but you grab the objective part of it and then filter that through this lens of wisdom using humility, right? And then on the second part, then you want to grab the emotion that comes from it and then use that emotion. So, okay, so let's just say they're really negative, right? You can take that emotion and that hate and that anger and whatever that's directed towards you, and you can use that as fuel to help you to focus on your mission. So just like I said at the start, the reason why we care so much about what other people think is because we aren't focused enough on our own mission, our own goals. And so we fill our time with more energy focusing on what other people think about us. When you can actually turn their negativity into something constructive, something that can help you build up towards your mission, you can use it as fuel. That's when you can, like, let's just say, again, going back to that fat analogy, right? Someone calls you fat. Okay, it hurts, sure. What do you do about it? You take that emotion that they're like sort of projecting onto you, and that it naturally causes inside of you, that hurt, that pain, that betrayal almost sometimes, and you use that to help you push to become less fat. Not because you care about what they think, but because you already know that it's a weakness of yours, and you're going to say, you know what, thank you, man, I've got more fuel to become better. And so I don't say this as some cringy video. Don't care what other people think. As I said, you should care about what people think, but in a way where you are focused on your own goals and your own life and having this positive influence in this world, that when people do say stuff about you, instead of having this insecurity, you can just have this confidence to just know, hey, you know what? Thanks for the reminder, man. You can filter it through humility, and then you use that emotion to drive you to say, well, now I'm going to prove you wrong. Watch me. Good. Let me show you that. Let me show you I'm not going to be fat anymore. And that's how you can stop caring about what other people think.